Question: is the Bible useful for our faith, for our understanding of our relationship with God, or our spirituality? Tonight I was having dinner with some friends and my grandmother, who's 89 years old. And we were talking about a myriad of things faith related. And Grandma was sitting there somewhat quietly listening. And then she sort of blurted out the seminal question of tonight's importance. Is the Bible important anymore? Does the Bible even matter given what you all are saying and what you're talking about? And I explained to Grandma that yes, the Bible is still very important. The Bible is still an amazing tool for us. The Bible is still a sacred text that I think we are learning from and we're growing from. But one of my favorite scriptures in that text, which is a part of a letter, is 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show yourself approved unto God. Another way of saying that is study so that you make sure that what you're believing and thinking is sound. What I was explaining to my grandmother is that, yes, the text is beautiful and there's great parts of it, but we must be able to take it with this sense of study, this sense of awareness, this sense of contextual context. We need to understand why those things may have been written, to whom they were written. We need to understand the difference between a, quote, gospel and an epistle and a letter. We need to understand if stuff was sound doctrine for a tribe who was nomadic thousands of years ago, or for how we might live today in 2025. It isn't that we're sort of throwing the whole thing away, but we are looking at it with renewed lens and a renewed understanding. So is the Bible a useful tool, a sacred text for your life even today? I say absolutely. And I say, you have to take things with a little bit of a grain of salt. You have to do some proving. You have to do some understanding. You have to do some research. Decide what's making sense for you. This isn't a cherry picking of the Gospels or a cherry picking of Scripture. It's just reading Scripture with some level of understanding. And then I think the Bible does what it's supposed to do. It gives us a tool to have a deeper relationship with the divine, as opposed to a literalist understanding that, if we're not careful, actually keeps us away from a deep and authentic relationship with God.